Yeah. Now minor sector again it is covered by two radii and a minor arc. That is called the shaded region is called minor sector. The remaining, of course, it is covered by the major arc or the remaining portion of the circle and same two radii. So this red shaded region is called major sector. Then we have next in the list about same semicircle. We saw semicircle using the longest chord. Now I am going to explain the same semicircle using sector. For example, it is a circle with center O. There are two radii drawn in the circle to show the minor sector. These two radii, when we expand the angle of center between the radii, if we expand, then it goes to opposite directions. Then again it forms a diameter. Same like then this circle is divided into two equal sectors or two equal halves. So in this case, this is called segment as well as sector. In case of diameter only, sector and segment both are equal in area. Yeah, up to now we have learned basic concepts or basic terminologies of circles. Now we are going to start some theorem. Basically we have two most important theorems from this chapter or this topic: angle subtended by a chord and angle subtended theorem. These two important theorems are there, on which we will see some examples as well. So we have to make a note of these important theorems. First one I am going to take as angle subtended by a segment, a chord, segment, or I can tell a chord, or I can tell 2 points, or I can tell arc as well. Why? Let's see. Let me draw a circle with center O. Now I am going to plot 2 points A and B. Right? 2 points are plotted on circle. Then I am going to join these 2 points with center. Now if you see, some angle is formed here. Let us give the name as theta. This angle is formed using 2 points, or else instead of using 2 points I can tell using this arc, or else I can draw a line segment here and I can tell that this angle is formed using this line segment, right? So angle subtended by a chord or a segment, an arc, or 2 points at the center. Now based on this we have some theorem. For example, I will draw one more chord here, some chord PQ. Then I will join with center again, and some angle is formed here. Let's suppose it is theta 1 and here it is theta 2. These two angles are formed by two different chords. In case if these two chords are equal, if AB is equal to PQ, then theta 1 is equal to theta 2. That means equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. This is the first part of this topic. Topic is angle subtended by a chord or segment, etc., in which we have first theorem as if two chords are equal or equal chords of a circle form equal angles at the center. Second theorem, vice versa, it's inverse. Marcus, if theta 1 is equal to theta 2, then AB is equal to PQ. Now what this theorem is, if these two angles are formed equally by two different arcs, then length of the arcs are equal, or length of the segments are equal, area of the segments are equal, or the chords are equal. All three give the same sense. If two chords are equal in a circle, then they form equal angles. If two angles are equal, formed by two different chords, then the length of the chords are equal. Now, based on this, some kind of questions can be framed in competitive exam. For example, if you see the figure, there are two triangles. Two triangles are formed using two radii in each and a chord. Now, I am going to write the names. Triangle AOB and triangle POQ. Do we have any relation between these two triangles? Yes, we have. These two triangles are congruent to each other. Triangle AOB is congruent to triangle POQ. What do you mean by congruent triangles? Congruent triangles means if all angles and sides are equal in both the triangles. Okay, I'll give you the statement. In case, so I'll give you the statement, a proper statement for this theorem. In case, in a circle, if two chords are equal, then prove that they form congruent triangles using the center. Now, how do we prove? We can prove using various theorems. For example, I am going to use AB, AO and BO as sides, and PQ, PO and QO as sides. So, if you see, AO is equal to PO as both are the radii of the same circle. OB and OQ are also equal, again two radii of the same circle. And BAR AB is equal to PQ because chords are equal, we saw at the beginning. So using SSS theorem, side theorem, we can tell that these two triangles are congruent. So these kind of questions can be framed in a competitive exam. Yeah. Then we have the next topic in the list. Perpendicular from the center of a circle to a chord, bisect the chord. For that I'll erase this first and let me draw. I'll pause the video. So now we have a circle with center O and there is a chord AB, suppose. A perpendicular is drawn from center to chord. A perpendicular. Then this point or this perpendicular divides this line segment AB or the chord AB into two equal halves. Suppose it is P. If OP perpendicular AB, then AP is equal to PB or BP. This means if any perpendicular is drawn from center to a chord, then it bisects the chord. Now, in exam, this theorem won't be asked. Some questions will be framed. Like if I join OA and OB, then do we have any relation between these two triangles? Yes, of course, again they are congruent. Triangle APO congruent to triangle BPO. Naming is very important. We have to have the same name or same order in congruency. Mutamasil. Yeah. Now how do we prove? Same again. If you can see, these two are the radii of the same circle. So I can write OA is equal to OB. Then it is told by the theorem that AP is equal to BP, proved here. AP is equal to BP, right? It is a radii of same circle. It is bisected. And finally, we have a common side, that is OP. OP is equal to OP, common side. Then again, we can tell that three sides of triangle 1 are equal to three sides of triangle 2 respectively. Therefore, these two triangles are congruent by SSS theorem. Then we have different circles in this same plane. Some similarities or congruencies or some other properties are there. I'll just draw a few shapes here. There are two circles which are intersecting at 2 points, case 1. Then two circles intersecting each other at, sorry, this is not the correct figure, I'll redraw it. There are two circles which are intersecting each other at 1 point externally. Then we have two circles intersecting each other internally, and then two circles not intersecting each other internally, or two circles do not touch each other externally, case 4 and case 5. So these points to be remembered. Then we have a very important question based on the previous theorem that I will explain here in detail. You have to understand the proof so that it can be answered in the exam. I think this question is in your textbook as well. I am not sure about it. There are two concentric circles. What are concentric circles? Circles with the same center and different radii are called concentric circles. And a line is, or a secant is passing through both the circles. And this line is intersecting both the circles at different points A, B, C, D, so on, and a perpendicular is drawn, P. So now we have to prove that AB is equal to CD. If you see the smaller circle, you can see that BC is a chord for smaller circle and P is a point where perpendicular is drawn from center O. Then I can tell BP is equal to PC, equation 1. Using same theorem, we need to know the theorem. Then, now if I ignore this part BC and all, and if I see only AC, again AC is a chord for the larger circle. And when we take the larger circle, then AD is a chord and P is a point where perpendicular is drawn from center O. Then we can tell AP is equal to PD, equation 2. And when we subtract equation 2 from equation 1, we get AB is equal to BC. Let's see how. LHS are subtracted and RHS are subtracted. That is the process of subtracting two different equations. Now if you see the figure, AP from A to P, this part, and BP is removed, this part is removed, so left out one is AB, so I can write here as AB. Likewise the other side, PD is the complete one, from that PC is removed, subtracted, minus, then PC is removed, so CD is the remaining one. This is the important question for competitive exam. For two concentric circles, AB and CD are equal. This will be there, but the concept remains same. Yeah, at last we have the theorem called angle subtended theorem. Angle subtended theorem is one of the most important theorem for our class as well as any competitive exam. I will just make it easy. Then I will give the statement. A circle with center O and 2 points are plotted on circle AB. Now I am going to join with center these 2 points. Suppose angle X is formed here. Any name can be taken, or I will start with any number, then it will be easy to understand. Suppose angle framed here is 100. Then using the same points, I am going to draw two lines such that those lines intersect or meet at circle at any point here, suppose P, then angle formed here is half of this angle, that is 50. 100 by 2. 50. It is nothing but angle subtended by an arc at the center is double the angle subtended by it at any point in the remaining part of the circle. I will give you once again example. A circle is drawn with center O and using 2 points we are joining center with some angle, suppose theta. Then using the same 2 points we are joining circle in the remaining part, then it is theta by 2. This is the important theorem. Based on this theorem some questions may framed, some values will be given and it will be asked to find this value, or this value will be given, some other values will be asked. And in this also we have 3 cases. Case 1, of course we can consider the same one as case 1, and other 2 cases are based on straight angle and reflex angle. Now suppose it is case 1 and instead of numbers we will consider some angles here, so that it becomes our basic for the theorem. It is x here, so of course it is x by 2. Case 1 in which angle x is less than 180 degree. It is less than 180 degree. In case 2 it is exactly 180 degree. Then of course it will be 90 here. It is case 2. And then we have case 3 in which angle is more than 180 degree, reflex angle. Then of course some angle will be framed here which will be less than half of reflex angle. Now we will have one example of this theorem so that the concept will be fully clear. There will be a circle given with center O and 2 points AB. Again they are joining at center and a circle, a point at the circle. And now I am going to divide this angle into 2 parts. Some values will be given and it will be asked to find angle APB. So same theorem is applicable here. We know that this angle is half of this angle total AOB. Angle APB is nothing but half of angle AOB, and angle AOB is divided into 2, 80 and 50. So we will take the sum of those 2 values, 50 plus 80. Of course it is half of 130. I guess 130 only. Yeah. Then it is 75. Angle P is 75. So children, that's it from the class. We have covered all important terminologies or basic concept about circle. Based on these concepts we have n number of questions in our textbook and on internet it is available. If we get a chance to meet again, inshallah we will cover those topics there. Till then, goodbye. Assalamu alaikum. Allah Hafiz.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.